You wake up in the morning, swing your legs out of bed, and there it is again, that familiar stiffness in your knees. Maybe it's just a dull ache at first. Maybe it sharpens when you take the stairs. Or maybe it's that grinding sensation that makes every step feel heavier than it should. For millions of people over 50, knee pain has quietly become a thief of freedom. It sneaks in slowly, stealing the joy of walking through the park, kneeling in the garden, or chasing after grandchildren. But what if I told you that inside your very food lies a key, not just to numbing pain, but to restoring the strength and cushion your knees once had? I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Wellness Blueprint Over 50. Today we'll uncover the top 3 nutrients, backed by science, that can help you reclaim comfort, mobility, and independence. When I first meet new patients who are struggling with knee pain, one of the first things I ask them about isn't how many pain pills they're taking or how severe the ache is. I ask them about their diet. That often surprises them. They'll say, "Dr. Brian, what does my breakfast have to do with my knees?" And I'll smile and tell them, everything. Because the story of your knees isn't just written in the cartilage and ligaments, it's also written in the foods you choose every day. Let me tell you about Jim. He's 67, a retired teacher who came to me frustrated that his daily walks had become shorter and shorter. He used to stroll 3 miles with his wife every morning, but knee stiffness cut that down to a block or two. He thought he might need a knee replacement, but after some adjustments, particularly increasing a very special nutrient in his diet, Jim found himself walking farther again, without the constant ache that had become his unwanted companion. That nutrient was omega-3 fatty acids. Now, omega-3s may sound like something you only read about on the back of a supplement bottle, but they are nature's built-in firefighters. Think about inflammation like a fire smoldering in your joints. Every time you move, the sparks flare up, causing swelling and stiffness. Omega-3s pour water on that fire. They calm down the overactive flames of inflammation, not just at the surface, but deep inside your joint tissues. Science supports this. A study published in the journal Annals of the Rheumatic Diseases showed that patients with rheumatoid arthritis who regularly consumed omega-3s had less joint tenderness and could even reduce their reliance on pain medications. The reason is that omega-3s block certain compounds, tiny messengers in the body, that normally shout, "Inflame this joint, swell it up." By quieting those messengers, omega-3s create a calmer, more comfortable environment inside the knee. But here's the twist. Our modern diets often tip the scales in the wrong direction. Most of us are drowning in omega-6 fatty acids, found in fried foods, processed oils, and packaged snacks. Omega-6 aren't evil on their own, but when they overwhelm omega-3s, they fuel the fire of inflammation instead of quenching it. Imagine putting lighter fluid on a campfire instead of water. That's what too many omega-6s and not enough omega-3s do to your knees. So how do we flip that balance? Food is the first medicine. Salmon, sardines, and mackerel are some of the richest sources of omega-3s. Just 2 servings of fatty fish a week can start turning the tide for your joints. I remember a patient, Maria, who couldn't stand the thought of fish. For her, we turned to high-quality fish oil supplements. Within 12 weeks, her morning stiffness, which used to keep her in bed an extra half hour, had eased so much she was up and moving before her coffee was ready. And if you're vegetarian or vegan, you're not left out. Algae oil provides DHA, one of the key omega-3s, straight from the source where fish get it. Flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts also offer a gentler form of omega-3s called ALA. While ALA isn't as powerful as what you get from fish, it still lends a hand to calming inflammation. Here's the important part to remember. Omega-3s aren't painkillers. They won't knock out your knee pain overnight like a pill might. Instead, they heal from the inside out. Most people notice real change between 6 and 12 weeks of consistent intake. It's like planting a seed. You don't expect fruit the next day, but with time, water, and care, the harvest comes. And the benefits go deeper than pain relief. Omega-3s help protect the cartilage, the cushion between your bones. In osteoarthritis, that cushion wears away, leading to bone rubbing against bone. But omega-3s slow that breakdown, and in some cases, help preserve the cartilage you still have. That means you're not just feeling better in the short term, you're protecting your ability to move years down the line. So whether it's grilled salmon on your plate, a spoonful of ground flax in your oatmeal, or a clean supplement chosen with care, omega-3s are one of the most powerful allies your knees will ever have. They're not glamorous, they don't promise overnight miracles, but step by step, week by week, they can help restore the joy of movement, the confidence of climbing stairs, and the simple pleasure of walking without thinking about pain. And that, to me, is the very definition of freedom. When people think about joint health, most immediately picture bones and cartilage, maybe even muscles. But rarely do they consider the sunshine vitamin, vitamin D. And yet, in my years of practice, I've seen vitamin D deficiency quietly fuel more pain and stiffness than many people realize. It's almost like a missing puzzle piece that, once put in place, changes the whole picture of health. I remember a patient named Linda, 72 years old, who came to me with aching knees that made it nearly impossible for her to get down her front porch steps without holding onto the railing for dear life. She'd tried creams, heat packs, and even a special brace, but nothing truly eased the ache. When we tested her vitamin D levels, they were shockingly low. After 3 months of supplementing, she came back smiling, telling me she had walked around the block with her granddaughter for the first time in years without needing to sit down halfway. For her, it wasn't a miracle cure. It was simply restoring something her body had been starving for all along. So why does vitamin D matter so much for your knees? Think of it this way. Vitamin D is not just a vitamin. It acts more like a conductor in an orchestra. Without it, the players, the immune system, the bones, the cartilage, become uncoordinated, each doing their own thing. The result is chaos inside your joints. Vitamin D helps bring harmony. It balances immune cells so they don't go haywire and attack your own tissues. It also helps your body absorb calcium, which strengthens the very bones that form the foundation of your knees. Without strong bones, the cartilage cushion doesn't stand a chance. Science has confirmed this link. Research published in Arthritis and Rheumatology found that people with low vitamin D levels experience faster cartilage loss in their knees compared to those with healthy levels. Imagine your cartilage as a sponge that cushions every step you take. With vitamin D deficiency, that sponge wears down quicker, leaving you with less protection and more grinding pain. The tricky part is that vitamin D deficiency is extremely common, especially in older adults. You might think, but I live in a sunny area. I should be fine. The truth is, many of us spend our days indoors, behind computer screens or televisions, rarely letting our skin absorb the sunlight it needs. And as we age, our skin simply isn't as efficient at converting sunshine into usable vitamin D. Add in darker skin tones, which naturally produce less vitamin D from the same amount of sun exposure, and it becomes clear why deficiency is almost epidemic. But the solution is often simple. A short walk outdoors, 15 to 20 minutes in the gentle morning or late afternoon sun, can help your body create what it needs. If sunlight isn't reliable where you live, or if you prefer to avoid sun exposure, there are dietary sources. Fatty fish like salmon and sardines carry a double gift, both omega-3s and vitamin D. Some plant-based milks, cereals, and yogurts are fortified with it as well. And for many people, the most dependable route is a daily supplement. If you choose supplements, remember this: not all forms of vitamin D are created equal. Vitamin D3 is the most absorbable and effective type for raising your levels. And because vitamin D is fat-soluble, it should always be taken with a meal that contains some healthy fat, like avocado, nuts, or olive oil, so your body can actually put it to work. The changes you might notice once your vitamin D levels are balanced can be profound. Morning stiffness that used to hold you hostage in bed begins to ease. Swelling after walking starts to subside more quickly. Even the endurance of your knees during daily tasks improves, because the foundation, the bones and cartilage, are stronger and better supported. I often tell my patients that vitamin D is like oil in a machine. Without it, parts grind against each other and wear out faster. With it, everything moves more smoothly, quietly, and efficiently. And the best part? It's one of the most accessible fixes available. If you've tried everything for knee pain, arthritis creams, anti-inflammatory pills, expensive braces, but never had your vitamin D checked, this may be the missing link. The solution doesn't require complicated treatments. Sometimes it's as simple as stepping into the morning light, enjoying a piece of salmon, or taking a small capsule with breakfast. So when you think of knee health, don't just imagine the bones and cartilage. Think of the sunshine. Think of that gentle conductor bringing harmony back to your body. And remember that sometimes the quietest helpers, like vitamin D, can make the loudest difference in your daily life. If omega-3s are the firefighters and vitamin D is the orchestra conductor, then collagen is the scaffolding, the very framework that holds your knees together. Collagen is the most abundant protein in your body, and inside your knees, it forms the cushion, the shock absorber, the smooth gliding surface that lets you bend, climb, and walk without friction. But here's the hard truth. As we age, our collagen production slows down. The scaffolding weakens, the cushion thins. That's when you begin to hear the creaks, feel the stiffness, and notice that deep ache after standing too long. One of my patients, Harold 74, once told me, "Doc, my knees sound like an old rocking chair." Every time he stood up, there was not just pain, but a literal crackling sound. He thought it was just age, something inevitable. But I explained that his body wasn't beyond help. It just needed raw materials to rebuild. And those raw materials were collagen, along with its partner, vitamin C. After several months of consistent supplementation, Harold wasn't just moving easier. The rocking chair soundtrack had quieted. He could kneel in his garden again, something he thought he had lost forever. Collagen works like the mortar between bricks. Without it, the structure weakens and the walls crumble. Your cartilage, the smooth tissue covering the ends of your bones, is made largely of collagen. When it declines, cartilage becomes thinner, rougher, and less able to cushion the pressure of daily movement. That's why reduced collagen is such a central player in osteoarthritis, the most common cause of knee pain. But here's the good news. You can feed your body the building blocks to repair itself. Hydrolyzed collagen, also called collagen peptides, is a form your body can easily digest and use. Once absorbed, it provides the amino acids needed to rebuild and strengthen cartilage, tendons, and ligaments. And research backs this up. A clinical trial published in Current Medical Research and Opinion found that athletes with joint pain experienced significant improvements after supplementing with collagen peptides for just 12 weeks. Imagine what that means for someone over 50 whose knees have endured decades of wear and tear. Now, collagen doesn't work alone. It needs a spark to turn those amino acids into strong connective tissue. That spark is vitamin C. Without vitamin C, your body can't effectively synthesize new collagen. It's like trying to build a house without nails. No matter how much wood you have, it won't hold together. That's why I always encourage pairing collagen supplements with either a vitamin C capsule or, even better, natural sources like citrus fruits, bell peppers, or berries. For some, supplements aren't appealing, and that's okay. Traditional foods like bone broth have been nourishing joints for centuries, providing natural collagen in a soothing, warm form. Chicken skin, fish skin, and even gelatin desserts contain collagen too. But for convenience and consistency, many people find adding a scoop of collagen powder into their morning coffee or smoothie to be the simplest route. It dissolves easily and is virtually tasteless, so it becomes part of your routine without much thought. But let me be clear, collagen is not an overnight miracle. Think of it like slowly weaving a net. Each day you take it, another strand is added. Over time, that net grows stronger, supporting your knees with resilience you may not have felt in years. Most people begin noticing a difference in joint pain and flexibility after 8 to 12 weeks. And the benefits don't stop at your knees. Collagen also strengthens hair, improves skin elasticity, and even supports gut health. So while you're mending your joints, you're nourishing your whole body. The greatest reward I see is when someone who believed their mobility was gone forever suddenly realizes they can move again without that constant fear of pain. A patient of mine named Evelyn used to avoid family outings because she couldn't keep up. After several months on collagen and vitamin C, she told me through tears that she had walked hand in hand with her grandson through the zoo. No scooter, no cane, just her own two legs carrying her proudly. That kind of transformation is why I believe so deeply in giving the body what it needs to heal itself. Collagen, with the helping hand of vitamin C, is not a flashy cure. It doesn't silence pain instantly like a pill, but it addresses the root, the very structure of your joints. It rebuilds what time has worn down. And in doing so, it returns not just mobility, but dignity, independence, and joy. When you sit down to sip your morning broth or stir that scoop of collagen into your coffee, remember, you're giving your knees the gift of strength, stitch by stitch, cushion by cushion, day by day. So now you know, the right nutrients can transform the way your knees feel and move. Omega-3s act like calmers of the inner fire, soothing inflammation and protecting cartilage. Vitamin D works quietly but powerfully, strengthening the foundation and balancing your immune system. And collagen with vitamin C rebuilds the cushion, giving your joints back their spring and resilience. Together, these three are not just nutrients, they are lifelines. Knee pain does not have to define the rest of your years. With simple, natural choices, freedom of movement can be yours again. Stay hopeful because healing is always possible.